Welcome, everyone. This is Cards and Coffee with Colleen and Kathy, November 2025 edition. I'm going to briefly introduce myself as one of your hosts and then pass it over to Kathy to introduce herself. But first, let me tell you kind of the itinerary here if you're brand new. Kathy and I have been doing this for a long time. I don't even know when we started. And what we do is we keep it to an hour. So we are going to be done by 12 p.m. Eastern time, the top of the hour. And first, we're going to talk a little bit about the collective energies or anything Kathy and I, received as far as collective messages. Then we're going to go in and choose just a few people from the Zoom audience to do mini readings for. Obviously, since we keep this to an hour, we're not going to get to everybody, but please know that whether it's within the collective messages or even sometimes when we give a personal reading, a mini reading to somebody, some of the things that are said are going to resonate for you as well. So you're all going to get a reading, basically, even if it's not on a personal level. I'm just going to go ahead and mute people. Whoops, except I don't want to mute Kathy. I muted you, Kathy, sorry. I'll let you unmute yourself. Um, all right, I'm just going through making sure. So I'm Colleen Lemma. I am of over 25 years. I've been doing my spiritual work as an intuitive reader, healer, and teacher. So I utilize Akashic records, astrology, numerology, tarot divination cards, the clairs, and connecting with people's angels and guides. When I do a reading, I do certified. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I do past life regression. I do Reiki and some other healing techniques, and then I teach a lot of different lectures, workshops, classes, and do guided meditations on a whole variety of topics. So my website is colleenlemma.com. And you can find me there. You can also find me on my YouTube channel under the same name, Colleen Lemma, although my meetup group is Sacred Soul Empowerment. So that's how you can find me. Kathy, do you want to introduce yourself?
I am Kathi Munson. I have also been on this path for an extremely long time, going on 24 years now, probably 24 plus years now. I am an intuitive reader as well. I'm also a medium, been connecting with spirits since I was a child. Both your loved ones and the proverbial spirit, so I'll say that. I do all kinds of workshops, guided meditations, past life regressions, mentoring. If you're looking to learn more about yourself, your skills, and have someone on your side to help you, Colleen is also doing the same thing. I know that as well because I see her head nodding. So yeah, very blessed and honored to be here, and thank you all for showing up today. I
Yes,
really appreciate it.
we're very
My
excited to be
website.
here.
My
Oh, go
website is
ahead.
Intuitive Cat. No, that's all right. I kind of jumped the gun. My website is Intuitive Cat, cat spelled Kat, soon to be changed over to kathymunson.com, but for right now it's intuitivecat.com if you're looking for me. That's where you can find me. Also Facebook page Intuitive Cat. Voices of Enlightenment is my space that I have created here where I live in Connecticut, which nobody's out there from Connecticut that I've seen so far.
No,
So yeah, if you're in our neck of the woods, come visit us for sure. But anyway, that's it. I'm gonna be quiet now
that's
because I'm
it. Okay.
excited. I want to get to read for you guys.
I know. So let's kind of just start with some collective messages. We're all excited. Your guides are excited to like share some messages. And I kept getting a repeating kind of message over and over again about the fact that this particular year, as far as Chinese astrology, we've been in the year of the snake. And with that idea of the snake energy, it's been a huge process of death and rebirth all year. It's been about shedding old identities or old parts of ourselves, or even maybe shedding, releasing, and letting go of old situations, circumstances, et cetera, et cetera. Because as we move into 2026, not only do we shift from a numerological nine energy for 2025, which is the last of the single digits, all about endings and closure and releasing. But we move into 2026 with a one vibration, which is all about new beginnings and fresh starts. And then the other half of that year of the snake energy that they were showing me is that as we move into 2026, usually it's around, I looked it up, February 7th, somewhere between February 17th to March 3rd. And it said that kind of opinions vary as far as when that new Chinese year kind of begins. It's going to be the year of the fire horse, you guys. So we're going from like this, I think it was the water snake this year, if I'm not mistaken, but we're going from this very internal process of getting in touch with our emotions on a subconscious level, on a psychological level, and doing all this, inner work of healing ourselves on various levels. And even this last new moon that we had, I think it was last Thursday, was the new moon in Scorpio, which really supported this process of digging down deep into the, aspects of our psyche to kind of bring out, these old ways of feeling or emotions or patterns or stories that we kind of have been holding on to. And just until a couple days ago, we had the sun in Scorpio as well, which supported that process of deep cleansing and purification and that death and rebirth process. Now we've moved into Sagittarius with the sun, but Mercury is still retrograde in that sign of Scorpio. So I feel like the message is that slowly but surely we're leaving kind of that snake energy behind, and we're getting like little pieces or glimpses of this fire horse energy that we're going to be moving into, because again, the sign of Sagittarius, which we're now in with the sun being in Sagittarius for the next month, is a fire sign. So we're kind of getting that glimpse of like sitting on the edge of our seat, bouncing up and down, like I'm ready. I'm ready to go forward. I'm ready to start a new chapter. We still have a little bit more healing to do here in the last couple of months. Oh, the other thing that they were showing me is that I don't know if you all know the tarot, but this month of November vibrates to the Judgment card, and December vibrates to the World card, the last two cards in the major arcana of the tarot, which is also telling a story of nearing the end of a soul process, nearing the end of this soul journey. And really quick, a couple of messages that came in when I, drew some cards here, and then I'm going to hand it over to Kathi, is a lot of archangel energy coming in to support us right now, um, about transcendence, clearing again out those old stories and patterns, starting to activate the solar plexus chakra, um, and the divine masculine, okay, not the wounded masculine, but the divine masculine energy of the solar plexus chakra to activate our personal power. They said, ask for what it is that you desire as we move into, or we're getting close to moving into that new year cycle. So don't be shy about putting out there what are your intentions and what do you want to create and manifest, and how do you want to empower yourself. For the time being, again, we're still wrapping up some loose ends. So, forgiveness, having forgiveness for yourself and others as you release and let go of these old situations. They said pretty soon we're going to be coming out of hiding, basically. We're going to show our authentic selves, our true selves. And not that some of you are not already showing your true selves, but it's definitely about coming out and sharing your gifts, sharing your talents, sharing your truth, right? No more are we going to hold back from sharing the real, true, authentic aspects of ourselves. And I think the last thing that I will bring in is that they were talking about the power of community. They bring it up quite often. But, as we're going through a healing process, or as we're getting ready to share and express our gifts out into the world, either way, that power of community can either help to support us as we're moving through a healing process by connecting with people of like mind, knowing that you're not alone and that other people are going through similar stages, similar things. But also, as we're gearing up again to move into this new year soon, I guess I'm jumping ahead because I want to go into 2026, but the power of community to create the new world, to create the new paradigm. I mean, yes, we want to express our own individual gifts for sure, but it's always when two or more people come together with a similar idea, a common goal, of how we can bring an awakening to the planet or the world, or how can we support the shifts that are happening on the planet. It's that coming together in collaboration that's really going to make it happen. And I know Kathy's showing a card there, so definitely partnership. I can't see the first word, but I saw partnership. You're muted, Kathy. I'm going to hand
I
it over
know.
to you.
I
Okay.
just thought that I'm like, you're talking and they can't hear you. Kindred partnerships is what it said. Yeah. I pretty much just want to say ditto because as you probably saw me nodding my head, it's a lot of what I've gotten. It's time now to really focus on where we're going. And so I always think of the analogy because I'm a big analogy girl. Those of you that don't know me, I'm very visual, incredibly visual with things that I get. And so what I keep thinking of is the windshield in your car. Like why do they make the windshield so huge and your rear view mirror so small? Because you're supposed to be focusing on where you're going forward. And that's the analogy that I keep to myself is continue to think about where you want to go and how you want to grow. That's the phrase specifically that I kept getting from Spirit this morning, like starting to release and even hearing yourself, like pay attention to what your conversations are, because there's a lot of I just had this experience literally this morning. So I'll just say that of a reaction, a known reaction to you, like a habit that you come out and technically and say something. And then you're like, okay, don't want to carry that forward. So let's rewind that. And kind of, I always think of Willy Wonka when I do this. Let's rewind that and rephrase it in the way that I want, in the going forward phrase of how I want to think, how I want to put myself out there, where I want to grow and go. And there's a lot of visions that I've been seeing about people coming together and living, like back in the day, that used to be communes, known as communes back in the day. But now it's like, and I'm sure you guys have seen it too, the little villages where it's the little houses all together. And it's, people that get to know each other and help to take care of each other and grow together and move together. I've been seeing that a lot, a lot, a lot. But it's also now finding your soul tribe, like staying with people that raise you up instead of take away your energy. It's starting to find those that, and it's not that we can't continue to love those that have been with us forever. People that you've grown up with, it's just your alignment. You're moving forward, they're moving forward in a different way. And so it's starting to realize that I can no longer be an enabler. I now take my power back and I start to move and grow and evolve and shift and change the way that I need to move now. And so it's really focusing on that for these last 2 months. And this month, I'm telling you already, I've seen it through clients, I've seen it in my own life where it's like, wow, that's really intense. And Colleen knows because we've chatted. It's like there's been some pretty intense stuff. It's like, okay, well, it's time to let this go. Time to move away from this for sure. And they're making it blatantly clear. I keep seeing phoenixes in in some of the meditations. When I do meditations, I keep seeing phoenixes, like just allow the fire, like burn baby burn, disco inferno. Anyway, we won't start singing. I've been singing these past couple days, but yeah, but it's time to like just let it go, like let it go. And I don't want to start singing the song "Let It Go" because that'll be in everybody's head for the rest of the day. But it's really moving forward and inspiration. Like think about where do you want to be, and not even next year, but next month. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to grow? Where do you want to go? Like inspire yourself. Think of I just said this to one of my clients yesterday. I I always think for myself, what would I tell my best friend? If there's a scenario that you're thinking, if you're struggling going through some things, what would I tell my best friend? And then I give myself and listen to that information because we know how it is. We know that we're like, I can help you. I'm going through the same thing, but I can help you and I'll help you enlighten yourself and I'll help you to move on. Take it on yourself. Talk to yourself like you're your best friend. If you are inspired and want to grow and evolve, and they keep bringing this into my mind, so I know there's going to be a lot of you today that we are going to be repeating some of the things that we're saying right now. Like, knock yourself out of the park. You are the one you have been waiting for. You are the one you're waiting for. We're not waiting for anybody else out there. We're not waiting for everything to shift and change out there. You are the one that needs to shift and change. This is a personal evolution, even though, yes, we know our universe is evolving as well. This is a personal evolution. That is the most important thing that you need to focus on right now is you. And with that, I'm going to put a pin in it. So
Okay. One more thing, just to kind of again round out these last couple of months in this particular year of endings and closure. They said make it count. They said make healthy choices for
mm,
yourself. There's going to be some decisions that a lot of you maybe have to make, maybe about home and family matters or relationship matters or career, maybe even about moving. So in these times of needing to make decisions, it's not meaning to be selfish in an unhealthy way and forget about everybody else's needs and wants, but this is about really focusing in on what do I desire or what do I need? What is the healthy choice I can make for myself? Because as we come to this closure year coming to an end and getting ready to embark into this, I even got a horse here for the fire horse year that's coming in. It talked about removing obstacles out of the way, but you have to make the decision to remove the obstacle. So make those decisions and choices that are going to help to lead you into this ability to open up to this new beginning that you really desire, that you really want.
I have
Anything
to
else,
just say
Kathi?
one more thing to add
Yeah,
on to that.
yeah.
Well, maybe two things. One is if you think of selfishness when we tell one, like when we're, because I'm a big one, I have children, I have a husband. I always think I'm being selfish. It took me a long time to know that. And I used to joke with my children and say, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Never realized how true that is because you're the pebble in the pond. You're the pebble that all those vibrations emanate from. So the happier you can make yourself, the better you're going to see everyone else around you to react. And it doesn't mean that you're the end all be all, like let's get in our egos and like we're all that in a bag of chips, that kind of thing. But it really is truly true. If you're not happy, then you notice that everything around you feels like the job is life is but the more happier you can be, the more, first of all, energy you bring to you, the better things you bring to you because you now are in a higher vibration, thinking positively about yourself. That's one. Two is the horse. I love the horse. Horses for me are about freedom. If you've ever seen a horse just running in the field, it is the most beautiful thing to watch. So I am so excited for and the fact that it has fire and freedom. It's like burning away what no longer serves you so that you can run and be free and just not have to feel so energetically heavy anymore.
And one
Just
of
thought
the
I'd add
key
that.
words is fearlessness on this card, to be fearless.
Yes. Yes. I know. Sorry.
Okay, so I forgot to make mention for those of you again that this is your first time here. Obviously, you saw me start the recording. I do upload this to my YouTube channel so other people can watch it, those that haven't been able to attend. So if you do get chosen for a personal, mini reading here, just know that this is going to be, uploaded so that other people can hear it. So there might be certain things that maybe you don't want to divulge, so to speak. Um, and with that being said, the only other thing is that we're gonna ask you to raise your either real hand if you're on camera or your icon hand if you do want a reading. Kathi and I just kind of let spirit guide us to who we choose. We will be asking you for your date of birth, your first name. Obviously, we should be able to know that, but first name and date of birth. Um, and I think that's it. Is that it, Kathi? Okay.
I believe that's it.
All right. So I am going to let Kathi choose first.
Um, I know you're all trying to find your hand to raise your hand, so I'm just gonna pick. And if you don't want a reading, if you don't have your hand up and I happen to choose you, because I already know who I'm gonna choose, then just please, we respect it. Just tell us that you're not ready for that, and that's perfectly fine. So Jasmine, I was scanning the crowd and I could not move away from you, so I'm hoping that you want a reading wherever you keep disappearing to.
I see Jasmine. Do you want to unmute yourself,
I
Jasmine, and give us your date of birth?
Sure. December 7th.
Ooh, it's coming up, December 7th.
Yay.
And do you mind giving us the year?
1999.
Okay.
Ooh, gonna party like it's 1999.
Right. Okay. And do you have a specific question or focus, or do you want to just see what your angels and guides have to say?
I want to see what they have to say. They've been kind of screaming at me lately, and
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see what other people have to say.
They're not gonna stop. I'm just forewarning.
No.
Okay. You take it away,
So
Kathy.
it's interesting. I love your background. So I'm going to say that first because it fits you very, very nicely. So I'll just put it that way.
Mhm.
Just could not move away from you. I just kept being drawn, kept being drawn, kept being drawn. There's an interesting thing about a dynamic. I don't know if you're working on ancestral ley lines or ancestral energy, but I feel
Mhm.
like it's really time where you make your mark and you kind of, and I know this is going to sound like I'm not sensitive to your needs, so I'm going to say that. But it's literally time like you stand in your power. There's something about fear overriding everything that you're trying to do. It's almost like they show me you walking like two steps forward and then kind of pulling yourself back, like, oh, I don't know, like things are coming too fast, so let me just pull back. It's like we want to be seen, and then it's like when we're seen, we're like, oh, that's like, yeah, oh, that's a little too much. Let me just step back out of the spotlight for a minute. But it's about saying that, okay, this is the family I was raised with or the dynamic that I was raised with, but it no longer fits me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that I disrespect where I've come from. It means, girl, you're looking at a woman who as a child could see spirits. I was raised a strict Catholic. It did not go well at all. So I'll just share my own little bit there. So it's like it's time to there comes a time when it's like, okay, I have to be who I am, or I'm just gonna like I'm gonna I felt like I was gonna drown if I
Hmm.
didn't allow myself to become who I needed to be. And that's a lot of what, like, you have the gifts, you do. You have a way to put yourself out there. You've got people who are like, come on, come on. And you're kind of like, I'm not ready. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. You are there. Like, this is your moment. Like, I almost feel I can hear singing in my head. I'm not kidding you. Like, oh, like it is your moment to get yourself out there and just say, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to allow myself to be. And who you share it with is your personal choice.
Yeah.
They don't have to know what you're doing. They don't have to. It's so funny. I can remember when I mentored with someone for mediumship for 2 years. He was amazing. Absolutely adore him. His name is Tony Stockwell. In case any of you would like to know, he's funny. Just love him. To this day, I still love him. And still connect with him from time to time. But anyway, when I walked in the first time to his class, there was probably about 60 or 70 people there. And I remember the first thing he said, and I started laughing. He goes, how many of you in the room like didn't tell your family where you are this weekend? I could not believe the hands that went up. I was like I thought, well, at least I got one thing. At least I did one thing right before we even start anything. Because I was married and had children at that time, so
Mhm.
I just thought it was the funniest thing that people didn't tell their people where they were going.
Yeah.
And it's like they're showing me that, and now like they're showing me that for you. Like, raise your hand and be like, hey, I know they know where I am. They don't need to know where I am. Some people, who you can tell, who you can't. You also have amazing friends around you right now. Like, you have some really good support also. Does that make sense? That's sort of
Mhm.
my family. I'll be honest, my true family, who is not my blood family. I have so many soul sisters that I know would be there in a minute,
Yeah.
and my blood family, not so much.
Yeah.
You start to realize, like, I love you, go on your journey. Like, we're just two different paths,
Yeah.
and it's okay. So I would definitely be your biggest cheerleader to go, 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 because
Can I
you are
say,
going to be giving wonderful things. You have people who need you.
I know.
Like, what you do, the gift that you have, yeah, you're ready.
Can I share something with you?
Sure.
Just real quick. This was a couple days ago. I did a reading for someone and I just did just straight intuitive, just mediumship. And I kept getting this vision of this millipede in a forest and he was crawling around and he was wandering about on this tree. But every time a bird would swoop in or a larger animal would pass it, he'd curl up. And he'd curl up until the fear was no longer there. And then he would continue on. And then as I continued with like seeing these different visions, it came back to the millipede. And he had died and he was in this hole and someone dug this hole for him and something covered it up. And the next thing you know, there's just this beautiful bushel of just flowers sprouting from him. And it's like whenever I thought about that I was just like, wow, it's like going from this instinct fear of like something's gonna come in and swoop in on me to just being a plant, just being whatever happens to me. It's okay. And it's actually really funny because another person, like this is the person I was reading for, and then another person that was reading for me, they pulled the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups,
Mm.
and then the Two of Pentacles, and they're just like, you need to transmute yourself. You have two of these like, just you're here, you're ready, like you know what your emotions are, you know how to tackle it, but you're too scared to put them together.
Right.
Um, yeah,
You are the Queen of Swords for sure. There's no doubt about it. That's where you are right at the moment.
thank
Because a
you.
sword is a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
Because there's part of you that figures if I use my sword, will it get me to where I need to go or is it going to hold me back? Am I going to
exactly.
cut something away that I truly need?
Or is it going to slow me down?
Right. Trust in spirit. Spirit always will guide you where you need to be.
Yeah,
There is no fear there.
yeah,
And I will tell you, I always think now, of course, I'm older now, so I'll just say that. Um, not that I focus on that, because I'm going to say that too. But there is a point where you think, you know what? When it comes to my time, I've already died and come back, so I've already had that experience. But when it comes to be my time to leave this plane, I would rather say, gosh, I wish I would have taken that and gone bigger,
yeah,
but at least I did it. Then, oh, I wish I would have done that.
yeah,
I want no shoulda, woulda, couldas when I pass on. That's
yeah,
that's my goal right now is every day to say, what can I do today? Where can I go today? Where can I grow today? What can I learn today? Because we'll always learn. You'll always be learning. Always. And the gift is this. Exactly what you're seeing here. All of you are the gift to Colleen and I. That's our gift. And I love it every day and I suck it up like it's a great pile of spaghetti. Because I'll just say that. But yeah. So having joy in everything that you do, and you bring so much joy to people. And one thing before I pass it on to Colleen, there is something that you're thinking of learning for yourself, and it's big. Like I already know you know what I'm talking about.
mhm.
Go do it now. Find someone now.
Okay.
When you get off this today, start looking. Like that's what I'm going to tell you. Go, go, go. So yeah, with that, I'm going to pass it on to Colleen because yeah, wait, just a minute.
Oh,
All right.
Jasmine, you are such a powerhouse. You come in as this huge, bright, expansive, powerful kind of light worker energy. And as much as you like to expand and inspire and just kind of like put your words, thoughts, and ideas out into the world through speaking, teaching, writing, communication, and expressing, you also have this deep kind of I don't know. I want to call it like this deep priestess, wise one, wisdom sort of energy. Like there's this bright light power, and it's not that the other isn't the bright light too, but it's this again, this like from past lifetimes of just being this very wise, silent, I don't have to say anything as I exude my power, kind of energy. So they do talk about using your powers of discernment. That is a gift that you have that you can see like the big picture, but you can also see like the little intricate details. You can see somebody's what's the word I'm looking for? Their motives. Like you can see the big picture of their motives from like this higher soul perspective of this is their soul's energy and this is their challenges, but you can also see the humanness and the ego, part of that person. And you can really kind of see what their human motives are as well. But you have it all going on. And in fact, I have to say, this is going to be your year. When I say that, your birthday year, because your birthday's coming up. So as we move into 2026, it's going to be your year. It's so interesting because one of the cards I pulled for you has a snake in it. You can see the snake, I think you can, around the caduceus there.
Yeah.
And so we're leaving the snake year energy and different card, but horses. And we're
Mhm.
moving into that time of the horse. This says to take action. It's going to be time for you to take action because this particular birthday year that you're coming out of. It was your completion, closure, healing sort of year. So you were kind of in alignment with what the collective energy is of this huge kind of transformation and death and rebirth that you were going through. And one of the things that that involved, because they talked about you needing to release something, like they were talking about like attachment energy, and not like a spirit attached to you. It was more like a mindset or a belief system attachment. They said you were really working on this during this particular year of 2025, your current birthday year that you're in. And it has to do with something about loving yourself, accepting yourself. They really talk strongly about self-acceptance. So you are this powerful, confident, bright light, but you have this little thing internally where you might be sometimes self-critical or hard on yourself. Maybe this, like, I'm not worthy and deserving, or whatever it might be. But they said self-acceptance is the key to releasing that last bit of whatever it is you need to release before you go into this new birthday year. And you're going
Mhm.
into a birthday year that's the powerhouse. It's the horses running ahead, saying it's time to move. It's time to take action. It's time to initiate whatever it is you're going to initiate. Again, you're the light worker, and I feel like collaboration with other people can be something that's very supportive for you. Although you're a very independent spirit, you also have a gift of like this one-on-one collaboration or one-on-one communication or connection with other people. So they said don't forget that, because that's part of the formula. In fact, this card with the horses is two horses running together. So there might be somebody, maybe you're thinking about going into like a business with somebody, or maybe you're going to work on a project, a collaborative project with somebody. So if there's some sort of partnership going on, or at least as an idea in your head, this is saying yes, that would be very beneficial. Again, you're completing, like, I feel like the rest of this year, they gave me the closed door, completion and the closed door. So you're closing the door on some old stuff, including that I'm not worthy or good enough, or I don't know enough, or I'm not, gifted enough, or whatever that is, as far as the self-acceptance piece that we talked about. So yeah, you're ready to go. One other thing, as I'm looking at some of the cards, they said something about forgiveness. I didn't look any further. I don't know if that's you needing to forgive yourself, or if there is some sort of forgiveness piece with somebody else that needs to happen, and whether or not you speak that verbally to that person, or whether you just have a higher soul self conversation and offer that forgiveness, and or ask for forgiveness if that, needs to happen. That's all you
Mhm.
need to do. But it's about now looking forward, and every step you take now needs to have like a conscious piece of, what do I need to do next? What's the conscious step I need to take? And you're just going to run with it. So I'm really excited for you.
Thank you both. I needed to hear that. I sometimes I need to shove off the cliff.
We all do. We all do,
Absolutely.
especially this year. This year has been very tough on a lot of people. It's been a very emotional, internal processing, realignment sort of year. And it doesn't mean next year isn't going to have any of its own challenges. Everybody's different, and some people like the silent, internal processing, healing sort of energy that we've been going through, maybe. Not that they totally love it, but they're more comfortable with it. And some of us, we're raring to go and ready for that fire horse, kind of movement in year as we move into 2026. So I think I think you're comfortable in both spaces, but I think you're ready as a Sagittarius to really expand your horizons and move on up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
so
Thank
welcome.
you.
All
I needed.
right. Yeah. I'm glad that it was helpful, Jasmine. All right, so I'm gonna choose. I was looking earlier while Kathy was talking to Jasmine, and my eyes kept going to Charlie. So Charlie, if you want to unmute yourself and give us your date of birth.
Hi there.
Hi.
My date of birth is July 20th, 1980.
And do you have a specific question, or just want to see what your angels and guides have to say?
Yeah, I kind of want to know if going into the new year, I'm going to meet somebody.
Okay. So I'm assuming you mean meet somebody romantically.
Yes.
Okay. Because you're going to meet all kinds of people. All right. So I'm going to let Kathi kind of do her thing first.
I was like, all right. Totally forgot that you did that for a brief moment. It's so funny. Before you even asked your question, the transformation card came out, and I was like, oh yeah, that's why I don't know if you saw me nodding my head, but I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's almost like they're talking about like you've done a lot of work on yourself. So as far as when we're talking about love, because I want to, we're focusing on your question. But there's part of you that still like is a non-believer. So I'm
Hmm.
just gonna say that they say there's something in you that it's almost
Hmm.
like I want love. It's weird. It's almost like they keep showing me the difference between the head and the heart,
Yeah.
right? So your heart is like, I could do that. I could find somebody and be a good partner for somebody. And then your head is sort of like, no, 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 no. So there's like this little bit of fear in
Yeah.
there that's still like, oh, what if I really do find something? It's a lot of what I had to actually said to Jasmine. It's like being in the spotlight and going, oh my gosh, there's somebody nice that's talking to me. No, because I also feel like your past history has not been the greatest because that's what they're kind of letting me know that you've had some tough relationships, but
Hmm.
tougher than most is how they're putting it to me. So I'll say that. So there's a lot of like allowing yourself, like I want to tell you to get yourself out of your comfort zone. And that
Okay.
doesn't mean that you just go flying into a relationship. What it means is you take it as a friend, like come across as a friend, because somebody is going to be approaching you. I keep getting like the number three, like around the third month. So I'm going to say that around March, like anytime. Okay, they're correcting me, so I'm just going to say that. So it's March is when that energy will truly shift for you to where then you'll have more perspectives, is how they're putting it to me. So it's like it's almost like it's more of an open time for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. But okay. Well, winter's always kind of interesting anyway. Like everybody thinks, who are you going to meet in wintertime? But again, that doesn't mean that you can't say hello to somebody. That doesn't mean that you can't talk to people. That doesn't mean that you can't, if somebody like catches your eye clearly, because what they're saying is kind of get yourself out of the comfort zone to just open yourself up as a friend.
Okay.
But the one thing I will forewarn you, you have an amazing intuition. Like, I don't know if you do what Colleen and I do, but I highly recommend you start really looking at it because you have the gift to be able to give readings to other people and be able to go into this line. Your intuition is escalating so hugely that you need to pay attention.
Okay. I was
So
born with the Venetian veil, and I've always been told,
that makes a lot of sense.
it,
That makes a lot of sense because they
hmm.
literally kept going like this. And I'm like, what are you doing? They kept
Uh-huh.
going like this. And I was like, I don't know what you're doing. And when I first looked at you, when she chose you, I know it's probably a fake background that you have. Is that true?
Hmm. Hmm.
But you look fuzzy compared to the background. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. She's like, they got this little. Yeah, I was just thinking, not that I would ever say that to you, but I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, yeah, I'm like, well, that just makes a lot of sense. But it is time to lift the veil. It's time to get past. It's
Okay.
interesting because if you see this, I'm going to do this. It says answering the
Yes.
call, if you can see that. But look at the woman that's in the picture. Like it's very much what we would think of when you say you were born with a Venetian veil. We think of sort of that time frame and
Hmm.
that look of the character that's in the card. It's a lot of you putting yourself out there and really going for it.
Okay. That's what
But
I've been nervous about.
take it slow.
Okay.
Going for it doesn't mean like I'm just going to throw myself at you and let's just have a relationship and that's not what it means. It means slowing down and saying, I'll meet you for coffee. I'll drive. I'll pay for myself. I'll do, whatever. Meeting in a public place,
Okay.
and if it takes you several dates to do that, do what you're comfortable with, but don't keep yourself at home.
Okay.
If the guy has a interesting conversation, like kind of go with it.
Okay.
There's something that they're saying that you get to that point to where you find them interesting and then you put a pin in it.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not that you technically ghost people, but it makes me feel like, yeah, in a few more seconds and she's gonna, that kind of feeling. It's a lot of like when we go into this sort of, I always think of habits. It takes 21 days to release a habit and 21 days to create a new one. So start working on the new habit. Start
Hmm.
working on, kind of nice conversation. I'm just going to kind of go with that for right now
Okay.
and just see what happens.
Okay.
And you don't have to commit to just one.
Right.
If you're just talking to people, just talk to people.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's literally getting out of the closet and allowing yourself to open the door. And
Okay.
even if the door is only open this much, it's better than keeping it closed.
Okay.
But yes, you're going to find somebody next year,
All right.
but it really all depends on you
Okay.
because Colleen and I cannot predict self-will.
Mm-hmm.
So we can tell you like, yeah, there's somebody coming. It's going to be very strong. It's going to be very fast moving. And you're going to be like, yeah, like,
Okay.
oh my God. Yeah. And then when that happens, you're going to be like, nope, 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 nope. Yeah. But if they're meant to be with you, they will find a way.
Okay. Well,
If
this
it's
is
somebody
one.
you're meant to spend your life with, you can't scare them away. It's divine intervention. You can't. It's just going to take you a heck of a lot longer to get there. And then once you get there, you're going to be like, oh, I wish I would have just followed through when we first met. Right. So, yeah.
Right. Right.
So, no shoulda, woulda, couldas.
Okay. Okay.
Time to put on the Wonder Woman costume and be like, I can do this. I
Okay.
got this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've definitely got it. You can do it.
All right. That's what I
So,
need to
yeah.
hear. I can do it.
Yes. 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 Take that phoenix and burn that veil. That's what I
Got
would
it.
say. All right, I'm going to pass it to Colleen.
Okay, Charlie. So you're on the cusp of Cancer Leo, yes?
Yes.
Are you technically a Cancer?
I'm technically a Cancer, but I feel like I shift. I can feel the momentum just shift with me and just I'm never settled. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Yeah, I really feel like that cusp energy with you. Like it, can go either way. That emotional, nurturing,
Hmm.
loving, kind of
Hmm.
Cancer energy, that creative, self-expressive, open your heart kind of Leo energy. So they're
Hmm.
bringing that up because these are some of the aspects that need to be focused on for you to ready yourself to
Okay.
open up to that relationship. Interestingly enough, when we talked to Jasmine, we talked about self-acceptance. It came up for you
Yeah.
too. We've got something down here at the bottom of this Archangel Zadkiel card that talks about self-acceptance. So, do you really accept yourself? You need to really work on honoring yourself, knowing that you're beautiful, knowing that you're worthy and deserving, having compassion for yourself for the things that you've gone through in the past regarding relationship, forgiving yourself, forgiving other people. That came up for both you and Jasmine, as well as again that piece of self-acceptance. So, needing to stay balanced in your true and authentic self. We all have emotional stuff that comes up or past stuff within relationships, old fears regarding relationship or old like why did that have to happen, in
Hmm.
my previous relationship. So really needing to kind of, again, take these last couple of months of this year and kind of work through, and again, the forgiveness, the releasing, the transmuting, actually, because Archangel Zadkiel is the archangel that uses the violet flame of transmutation to transmute lower vibrational energies, emotions, situations, old relationships, hurts,
Yeah.
etc. Sort of like the color of the back of the card, which is like this amethyst violet kind of color. That's what Archangel Zadkiel is all about, is utilizing that violet flame. They said it's time to nourish yourself. Again, that loving yourself. If, and pulling in a relationship, a romantic relationship, how do you want them to treat you? Obviously, I'm sure you want them to treat you with love, respect, compassion, nourishment, because the nourishment card came up here. So treat yourself like that right now. Treat yourself the way you would want a significant other to treat you. They said it's time to reclaim these aspects of yourself that you may have abandoned, so through old hurts and challenges, not just relationship challenges, but any kind of challenges, we may have abandoned aspects of ourselves. It's time to reclaim those pieces.
Hmm.
Again, it's not like you have a hard line at the end of this year that it has to be done by, but I really think focusing on it through the rest of this year is a good thing. They said right now, as far as romantic relationship, to just take a little bit of a pause, not a long one, because I agree with Kathi. Somebody's coming in, I believe, next year for you. But right now, take that pause and take a step back to focus on what yet do I have to heal with myself? What do I have to look at as far as this self-acceptance, this forgiveness, this need to nurture myself? I love that you got this beautiful butterfly maiden card because this means huge change and transformation is coming to you. It's like you're coming out of the caterpillar phase and you're
Yeah.
moving into the butterfly phase with all of its beautiful colors and creative self-expression. And she's holding her hands up in the air, which I found interesting. You might not be able to see this other card, but it was right next to it from a different deck. It's the balance card, but this person's holding her hands up in the air. Kind of same thing. They're both putting their hands up in the air like, yes, I'm ready. I give up all of my old stories. I let go of what I no longer need, and I'm open now to bringing in what I do need. So I feel like,
Okay.
that's kind of what the message of that is. When I when oh they did say too, you have to get out a little bit more to meet that romantic
Yeah.
significant other. They said, she's in a particular circle of beauty and goodness or socialness, but she needs to step out a little bit more. She needs to
Yeah.
try things or go places that she hasn't really gone or tried, social circles, maybe even a little bit of short distance travel or something like that. So as you're expanding your world, so to speak,
Hmm.
energetically, that's gonna start to like magnetize or bring in who this person is. They said the past is no longer. Relieve the lack of self-worth or the lack of self-acceptance behind. Be in the present moment of gratitude for the people that you do have around you now, friends, family that are loving and supportive. Foster again that nurturing connection with yourself. And when I used my relationship deck about a relationship coming in, and I was going to go 2026, 2027, 2028, but it was right away in 2026, and I got springtime. And I feel like May is popping up. So the month of May, which actually initiates the spring for us here in the United States. And I said, are you talking about May of 2026? And the next card I got says yes. And there's
Oh,
only one yes in this entire deck. And the deck is quite large with 70 some cards. So you got yes. And again, just like Kathi said, we can't predict without a shadow of a doubt because it's up to you and your free will.
right.
And what are you going to work on in the meantime? And are you going to be ready and open to it when it shows up? And how are you going to react when that comes in? And it also has to do with the other person too, right? Whoever this other person is, they have free will. And it's up to their choices as well, leading up to like the springtime of 2026. But if all goes well, it looks like love is coming or a loving relationship is going to show itself. So I hope that was helpful.
It was. It almost made me cry, just because of the trauma that was exposed in a previous relationship that I was in for so many years that, you get to a point where you think this, I'm never going to find somebody who is emotionally stable, kind, compassionate.
Cancel,
And
cancel,
I was
cancel.
Yeah,
freezing
yeah,
myself. Yeah, I
yeah.
just became in a place where I just became a bubble of who I was. And this past year, I've been trying to work on myself slowly but surely so that I can be in a place that I am healthy enough to experience love again.
Take the last 2 months, focus on nurturing yourself, loving yourself, accepting yourself, forgiving yourself
Forgive.
and or possibly the other person on a higher soul self level, energetically, for the past. What did they teach you? Right? They
Hmm.
probably taught you, maybe it doesn't seem like it, but I can kind of relate to what you're saying. So when I think back to my experience, I think, what did that person teach me? They taught me that I need to reclaim my power. They taught me that I need to have better boundaries. They taught me that my needs matter and that I need to stand up for what I really truly want and desire in a relationship. It might not have been, an easy path or a
Hmm.
positive way that I learned those things, but for you too, it's like what, in the next couple of months, did you, consider what did you learn and how can I now release this and let this go and ready myself? And yes, shift your perception, your belief systems. Like Kathi said, cancel, cancel, cancel all those old ways of thinking
Hmm.
about never going to, it's not going to happen, that person doesn't exist. And instead, start writing out your list of positive things that you desire in a relationship, and keep adding to your list throughout the rest of this year so that by the beginning of next year, when a lot of us seem to put our intentions out for the new year's energy,
Mhm.
that you'll have this nice list of positive aspects of what it is that you desire in that person and in a relationship as a whole, and start believing that that or something better is out there and that's coming to you.
Thank you. Thanks for
When you talk
um,
about those emotions and thoughts and feelings,
mhm.
a great way to phrase it is up until now, I have felt like yada, 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 those kinds of things. But up until now is a great way to do it so that you're not continuing it forward. You're not continuing to hold on to. That's one of the things I was over here jotting down notes when Colleen started her reading. I was like, I gotta say this, I gotta say this. The Venetian veil,
Mhm.
wonderful phrase. It is a thing. So, I'm familiar with it. I know a lot of somebody had shared that they had never heard of it before.
Mhm.
Don't own it. You're at a time where you do not have to own it.
Okay.
We have to be very careful with people giving us like even medical advice and doctors. They don't know where we are right now. They're doing
Mhm.
the best they can. Just say, "Oh, that's an interesting perspective."
Okay.
But don't own it. I don't care what diagnosis you're given, don't own it. I literally have a client that I saw yesterday who had the worst cancer. One that everybody's like, oh, she's not going to survive that. Oh, she's not. I said, cancel, 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 cancel. I said, if anybody can, she can. And
Mhm.
she now just had her last chemo and has survived it and is in remission, full on remission.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm like, I'm not believing anything right now. It's amazing what we can do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you are worthy, is what I want to tell you. You are worthy of having someone who gives you everything that you're looking for, and you are worthy to receive.
Thank you.
Your past fed the unworthiness,
Mhm.
your past relationships.
Mhm.
Now you are a power source.
Thank you,
And
lady.
and that's what each and every one of us here, no matter if
Everybody.
you're Charlie or Jasmine or not,
I know I can
you're
see the
you're
texting, the
yeah,
comments
you're
going,
you're
going,
all
going. And I was like,
here.
I haven't read them yet, but
You're all here to reclaim your sacred soul power. You're all
absolutely.
here with magical abilities through your own thoughts and belief systems to create your reality. We
Mhm.
create a reality with negative thoughts, right? It's like we're having a bad day, we wake up a bad day, and then all of a sudden we get into a car accident later, and then, money collector calls or whatever. It's like you're creating, through
Mhm.
the start of your day with some of the lower vibrations that you carry. Let's turn it around and let's be the empowered, positive, expansive,
And some, I'll be
vibrations.
honest, sometimes you have to act as if. Sometimes you have to just keep saying to yourself, okay, I'm gonna fake it till I make it.
Hmm.
Yeah. One thing I do want to share that Colleen and I have not shared is Colleen and I are doing a podcast now together. It's under Empowered Voices. And it's not readings, it's just us talking about just real stuff, like us being real, talking about ourselves, how we started, but many other things. Highly recommend you guys check it out because a lot of stuff that we talk about is this and our own personal connections to being unworthy, to feeling cancel, 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 to feeling unworthy. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of postcards that are going out to those that have not gotten chosen today. Please come back and see us again. Not that we're ending it quite so yet. We probably can do a real quickie. Do you want to do a quickie?
Yes, we'll have time for, like maybe
We're
4 or 5 minutes. Kathy, do you want to choose somebody?
Jenny. You have just been pulling my energies, so I have to pick Jenny.
All right,
Not to mention,
Jenny.
would love to be where that backdrop is right now.
Yes, I know.
I'm
Jenny,
over
what's your
here like if you see me, I keep going like this because I'm cold where I am.
I
So yeah.
know. Jenny, what's your date of birth?
It's August 8th, 1982.
And do
Oh,
you have a question or focus or just whatever comes through?
Just whatever they want me to know.
All right, girl. Go ahead, Kathy. I love
Jenny, you are
eight.
a
I
little.
love 8 8, first of all. It's like
Yeah.
powerhouse number 8 8. Go ahead, Kathy.
Well, I also know why I chose you because you're close to my mother's birthday. So, and I was already getting signs from her this morning. So, yeah, I'm like, okay, now I know why. Now I know why I chose you. But beyond that, you're a sprite. You are a little fairy if ever I've seen one. Like you have such amazing fairy energy. Like you, if you've never connected with the fairy realm, I highly recommend you do because I truly feel like you'd have like a whole career just there. Between going out in the woods, between connecting with the earth, between,
Yep.
growing, evolving, shifting, and changing. Do you work with herbs also? Because I keep getting something about herbs for you.
I did a long time ago. Life took over and I went a different path and now I'm back. So when you say sprite, my nature, my beaches.
Yeah, I definitely feel like herbs are a big thing for you. I think the way
Yeah.
you were connecting with them before was close, but I feel like the more that you start to allow yourself to just receive, because there's a lot of intuitive hits there for you.
Mhm.
And looking at everything that draws your attention on earth, it's so funny. So funny how I love synchronicity. I'm just going to say that. I had this plant growing in my yard for the past couple years. And the first year that I grew, it's very tall. It's a very tall plant. As people would say, it's a very tall weed. It's not a weed. It's actually mullein that's growing in my yard. So I like screenshot it on Google to find out what it was, and it told me what it was. I was like, oh my gosh, now I have to learn how to harvest it. But again, it's things like that, things that are like drawing your attention, things that are growing and evolving. And it's not just that you're just going to do herbs. There is this whole sort of, they keep showing me this whole sort of program that you'll create to where it's the intuition that comes through. You're also a healer, which I'm sure you probably know that. Um, I don't know if you know energy work or if you don't, I highly recommend you learn.
I'm
You
learning
do?
now. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm learning now. I'm enrolled in school as of last month and everything
Nice.
is coming together. Yep.
Nice, because I do feel like it's going to carry through, like energy is going to carry through, like you'll be able to put it into the things that you make. You'll be able to, work on people. It's the connections between, they show me you working on people and getting information about like what herb would be best for them. And you might not have been like, I've never even connected with this herb. Like it may take you a minute to sort of like, have them give you the information. You're also building your connection with your spirit guides really strongly, is what they're telling me right now. Keep
Yep.
working on that.
Okay.
You need to write to them.
I have been trying to journal. I'm just not getting it out the way it needs to flow.
So here's what I recommend, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
I probably should ask. Is it okay if I tell you? Um,
Absolutely.
because it's so simple, and this is for anybody else that's on here. Is what you do is you start by Dear Spirit Team, because that's how I start mine. I'm like, Dear Spirit Team, and then I'll be like, whatever I'm wanting to know, try to rephrase it so it's not just a yes or no question. So guide me to clarity regarding me working with herbs. We'll just utilize that. And then you put Dear Jenny, and then you just let your hand go. Like just write whatever's in your head. It could be, well, Kathi told me to do this, so now here I am. And then like get all of it out of your head onto the paper. And then before you know it, Spirit's gonna take it and they're gonna run with it and they're gonna give you the answer. It could be anything from something short and sweet to, trust me, I've written pages some days from them. So, and the more you practice to do that, I think the journaling is you're going to journal eventually, but I think it's a little daunting to you right now.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is like a way to like, oh, I could write a letter. I could just write and see what happens.
Okay.
That's why I'm very easy to kind of sneakily go in there and still get the same information. That's kind of me. So
Okay.
yeah. But anyway, but that will also help to expand for you and help that connection to build between you. You hear them, and I don't mean hear, well, sometimes, but but that claircognizance where it's placed into your mind. Like you do get it. You just have to keep picking up on it for
Mhm.
yourself. It's kind of getting to know them and know like what are your thoughts and what are theirs. So yeah. With that, I'm just gonna pass it to Colleen just so that we can both get in here.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
All
you.
right. So, Jenny, first of all, we know that the number 8 numerologically, which is your month of birth and your day of birth, is a number of power. It's a number of empowerment. And we know that Leo, because you're born under the sign of Leo, is this sign of the zodiac that rules love from the heart. And so they were talking about your power being the power of love. That's how you can create, that's how you can heal. Just like Kathi said, if you wanted to, well, you did say you're learning something about a healing modality. It's coming from the power of the heart chakra. So the power of love. Embrace your own self-love because that's going to make you even more powerful and stronger. They were actually talking about you being quite a visionary. Um, and so again, that fire energy of Leo is like this fire, this passion, this vision. And I feel like when I look at the birthday year energy that you're in, because you're kind of in the midst of, because your birthday was in August. So until next August, you're in this time period that's more, it's more self-reflective and more internal. Not that there's not a lot going on externally in your environment, but I feel like you're kind of pulling back your energies. You're kind of doing an inner soul healing journey or an inner soul search. And they were talking about organization. Now, that can be literal or that can be figurative. Organization, meaning maybe in your environment, you need to organize this room or your house or your office, and maybe even make an organized plan for the future. But internally, it's about organizing the thoughts in your head and really, because this can be a year where you're ruminating on things. And again, you're trying to solve like this internal puzzle that just doesn't seem to be able to be solved, which is why you're pulling back your energies and kind of on this kind of soul journey, soul searching thing. But they're saying when your birthday comes in August of 2026, wow, it's going to just like open up a new world for you. You're going to move back into your power and empowerment. You're going to be your own inner authority. You're going to take charge of life. You're going to take the bull by the horns, basically, and you're going to move with it. I feel like a couple of other messages on the side. They were talking about Akashic records, and I didn't go further with that just because of our timing here that we're trying to wrap up. But you might want to think about getting an Akashic Records reading, or maybe this was about you learning how to access the Akashic Records and learn how to be an Akashic Record reader. But there's something within your own Akashic Records that needs to be tapped into, some sort of wisdom, information, guidance. Um, Again, a lot of times when we access the records, we can go back and look at a repeating pattern or theme in our life. Why is it there? What was it supposed to teach us? How can I you know, change that so it doesn't keep on happening over and over and over again. So there's something about Akashic Records for you. And then the other thing, which was interesting, and I don't know that it's going to be in this birthday year, but maybe, I'm wondering if it's in the next birthday year. There's something about a Kundalini activation, so I don't know you've had a Kundalini activation or what? Are you working on
This
that?
is all the energy healing that I'm learning about and doing now, and that is like my utmost goal is that. So it's what you're saying is it's piece by piece fitting into my puzzle that I'm in this process now. This is my healing path, my journey.
Okay.
That's my goal.
Okay, well, you're gonna have some sort of Kundalini activation, but I feel like you're realigning or reorganizing energies within yourself until your birthday of 2026, and then I feel like it opens the doorway to have that experience during that next birthday year cycle. Um, but nonetheless, after your birthday, or even just shortly before when you're transitioning into your new birthday cycle, it's going to be like coming from this internal world and expanding into this outer world for you. So that's really exciting.
Thank you. Everything just my graduation of the schooling that I'm in is actually in August as well. So everything is coming together for that year.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very great. Well, thank
Yay.
you, Jenny. I'm glad that this
Thank
resonated for
you.
you.
Thank you, both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, if you want to re-listen to this or share this with somebody else, it will be on my YouTube channel under Colleen Lemma. Check out intuitivecat.com and ColleenLemma.com. Kathi and I do lots of meditations, classes,
Aw.
workshops, lectures, etc. You might want to check out. In fact, I do have an Akashic Records workshop coming up on December 6th on rewriting your story in the Akashic Records. So you might want to
Yay.
check that out. Anything else you want to say, Kathi?
I want to say thank you so much for everybody in the chat. Like I've
Yeah.
been trying to kind of peruse and read it. great information in the chat for all of you from others sharing. Thank you so much to those that shared your information and how this helped you. That means so much to Colleen and I to know. You don't get a lot of validation on this path, and those of you that work this path, you kind of know that. But that's all right. I mean, it's not about validation, but it's wonderful to see all of you interacting together. It's like-minded souls coming together. It's just a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely.
So we hope that we will see you. We will be back again next month.
Yeah.
Do
Do
we
you
have
know
a
the
date?
date? Do you have the date?
I know. I'm like, do you have the date? The two of us
Uh,
are always like, do you have the date? Do you have the date?
I'll
Hang on,
look
I'm
it up.
going there.
It is. I don't know that I have it.
I thought we did.
I don't
Hang
think
on.
we did.
Hold one
Oh,
moment.
it is December 21st, you
That's
guys.
why. It's the winter solstice. I should
The
have known
winter
better.
solstice. Winter solstice,
Winter
December
solstice day is when we're
21st.
going to be on.
Yeah,
Ooh,
absolutely.
going to be magical.
And again, watch for on Empowered Voices. Is that right? Empowered
Our
Voices
Empowered Voices.
Facebook.
Yep.
Empowered
on my
Voices Facebook or YouTube channel is where our podcast
Exactly.
is going to be. We'll record the second one tomorrow and it'll be uploaded within 24 to 48 hours probably.
Yep. And then we have some old on Empowered Voices, the YouTube channel. We have our older versions that we had done years ago. So
Right?
yeah, that are kind of interesting to watch now. I watched one of them. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So yeah. Yeah.
All
But
right,
thank you all so
everybody.
much. It was such a blessing and an honor today.
Have a
Thank you so
wonderful
much.
holiday, gratitude day. Have gratitude for yourselves as well as those
Yes.
other people in your life. Sending you lots of love and light, and we will see you again in the future. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.